Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, we're going to talk about a bunch of subjects. What is the best Submariner you can get for under $6,000? What's your best first Rolex? How do you start a relationship with a retailer? And also talk about some smaller brands like Daniel Roth. So, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the Rolex Submariner Hulk. Love it to death. Got it for my 30th birthday. You guys know it well. Also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. Got a bunch of new watches in stock, including a very cool Omega Seamaster GMT 50th Anniversary Edition with the box and papers. And we had a Milgauss Z Blue yesterday, but that flew off the shelf almost immediately. But guys, we update the site every day, every weekday, so don't forget to check it out. So yeah, thank you to everybody who participated in the Q&A. If you guys want to participate in the next one, you have to follow me on Instagram. That's at Federico Talks Watches. But let's get right into it. And guys, if you see me staring over here, I'm not being rude. I just have my laptop jerry-rigged on top of my hamper so I can read the questions. Of course, we're still quarantined, so I don't have my studio. The first question is from Eddie_Landsberg, who's a very avid viewer of mine, one of my younger viewers. I love answering his questions. He says, why should young people be interested in horology or watches? I'm really just looking for reasons to get my friends and other young people involved so the industry stays strong for generations. Well, Eddie, it's a very noble pursuit. But the real answer to that is, I don't know. I can tell you everybody gets into horology for their own reasons. A lot of people like the study of time. Me personally, I got into it for aesthetic reasons. I just fell in love with a Breguet. Some people love the micromechanics and the artisanry. All I can really tell you is yes, it's not particularly a young hobby, and I don't really see that changing. I really wish I could help you with this one, but I don't know the answer to your question. I really don't know. But I think if you share your enthusiasm with them, enthusiasm does tend to be contagious. So you never know where it will lead. Keep trying, keep doing what you're doing. If I figure out an answer to that question, I think we're friends on Facebook. I'll let you know. Watch Talk Studio. Thoughts on Monta? Well, Monta is actually a very interesting brand in my opinion. I'm going to start off by saying I don't have a ton of experience with them. I've only seen one in the flesh once or twice, but it's a brand that went from a small micro brand to an independent brand, and how do you do that? I mean, I think you cross a line in size, but also they have distribution, AD networks, service centers. They're a more full service brand. The one I saw, I really did like. I have heard from a bunch of people that they think the quality compared to the price, the quality price ratio is fantastic. I can tell you, in my opinion, their designs don't particularly excite me all that much, but I've never heard a bad thing about Monta. So I can relay that message to you guys. I hope to get more experience with them down the line. L Cater 95. Are Daniel Roth pieces destined to increase in value? Daniel Roth used to be an independent brand, then it was bought by Bulgari, and of course rolled in under the Bulgari brand name, even though they do have a few Daniel Roth K-shapes left. Honestly, I do think they will increase in value for the simple reason that I don't think they can go any lower. I mean, guys, this was an independent brand, big master watchmaker, some interesting movements, some in-house, some not in-house, precious metals, distinctive case designs, and yet, full disclosure, I have one for sale right now, but to give you an idea, it's a white gold world timer, well under $10,000. I think it's, off the top of my head, between $6,000 or $7,000. Can that get any lower? I don't think so. So I do think at the very least they will hold value to where they are now, but hopefully they become more appreciated in the future. I really do think they make some cool pieces. Mike Ruggiero, what's the best way to begin a relationship with a retailer? In your opinion, what ballpark amount would you need to spend in New York City for a retailer to put you on the map for Waitlist watches? Finally, if you were to start a relationship with an NYC retailer today, who would you choose? Mike, man, this is a really tough question, and I worked in NYC watch retail for many years, and there's no really nice way to answer this question. So please don't take it the wrong way, but unless you're loaded, you're not going to get on the map. I mean, here's the thing: New York City is the number one destination for shopping in the U.S., possibly the world, arguably, along with Hong Kong and Paris. There are a few retailers, but not that many. There's 7 or 8. And the wealth in New York is crazy. I mean, I remember when I worked at Tourneau or Wempe, unless you spent $300,000-$400,000 a year, you weren't a special customer. I mean, they would treat you well. Of course they would. They don't. I'm not saying they'll treat you badly, but you're still a nobody unless you spend that kind of money. That being said, you do have a few things going in your favor. I mean, they like locals because it's repeat business. I think depending how you treat the salesperson, you explain your situation, you can get a few points there. I think realistically, for you to make any traction at all, you need to be spending at least $100,000. And even then, I think you're definitely a small fish. If I had to pick a retailer, I'd say Wempe. Yes, I did used to work for them, but I think they have the best selection, very well-trained sales staff. They're one of the main reasons I am where I am today. I think Rudy, who's the president of Wempe, is a fantastic guy, and they really do strive to give the best service. However, if your goal is kind of these limited edition waitlist pieces, I would say don't buy them in New York. You don't stand a chance, not unless you make $5-10 million a year, and trust me, there's more than enough clients that make that in New York and spend it with these authorized dealers. So you're better off maybe finding an authorized dealer in a small town. But if you were in New York, once again, I'd go with Wempe. Defeated none. Which Submariner reference can I get around $6,000 and where? Well, defeated, $6,000 isn't a tiny budget, but it's not particularly high for a Submariner. If it was for me, I'd go with a 14060. That's a no-date Submariner, previous generation aluminum bezel. That price, probably no box, no papers, but still probably in decent shape. I'd check out Chrono 24. I wouldn't know exactly where to pick one up at the moment, but Chrono 24 should have a few options. Eulers_Spiral. What is your opinion on getting an Explorer 214270, that's a 39 millimeter, as your first Rolex? Well, I think it's a fantastic choice. I think it's an iconic design with modern proportions. A lot of people find this 36 a little small. I know I do, even though some people do really, really like it. You get all the modern Rolex kind of bracelet technology and relatively modern movement technology. You get the full experience with what is probably the most versatile Rolex on Earth, and arguably one of the most iconic, along with the Submariner and the Daytona. There's very few occasions where an Explorer isn't the right choice. And I think the fact that it's a lower priced Rolex with that still has that kind of iconic status and is still extremely well made makes for a fantastic first choice for a Rolex watch. Let me know what you guys think. I'd be interested. And lastly, Trevi1373. Hey Fed, my question to you. Are most of the sales associates and different ADs watch geeks or fans, or do they just see it as another job? Well, Trevi, it really depends. I worked retail for 5 or 6 years, maybe actually a little longer than that, and I can tell you it was pretty much split 50-50. 50% of us loved watches, huge watch geeks, and a lot of people that weren't watch geeks get turned into watch geeks. So I can tell you a lot of people do fall into that category, and I love it. Those guys don't tend to be the best salespeople though, because they spend way too much time with each customer. I was in that boat. I certainly was never the top in sales, but I was definitely a watch geek. The other 50% do it because they're great salespeople, and I'm going to be honest, you can make some pretty damn good money working retail selling watches. I mean, at a good authorized dealer, top-end salespeople can make $200,000 to $300,000 a year, and crappy salespeople at these high-end dealers probably be pulling 80. So you can make pretty great money at least in my era. So there are a lot of people that aren't particularly watch geeks, but that doesn't mean that they don't know watches. The right AD will train you pretty vigorously. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. It really does help. And please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any content. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe and healthy, and thank you.